Are you an executive who has reached the ceiling in your current job, who has little time to dedicate to your career transition and need quick and practical advice? This is Happy Monday Executives, empowering executives in career transition, a weekly podcast providing you focused, actionable advice, insights, and powerful tips. With your career strategist guru, Isabelita Castilho.
Hello. Welcome back to Happy Monday Executives, empowering executives in career transition. I'm your host, Isabelita Castilho, and today I'm here to tell you about interim and temporary roles. Is it taking time for you to land the next job? Yes, it's not an easy process, and it's not that fast when the higher you go in the ladder. Of course, the longer it can take for you to actually conclude a new job and to be made an offer. So if you are currently unemployed, consider reaching out to temporary and interim roles. So how can you do that? Well, first thing you can do, go in Google, search for interim and temporary recruitment firms. You want to be on their radar. If you're not in their radar, it's harder for them to reach out to you. Those guys will have more than one job at a time. So let's start with the recruitment firms and executive search recruitment firms that will actually be considering, or they're actually having temporary and interim. When I have done a search today, and I'm using you.com because I find it very effective. So when I use you.com, I choose the chat box and they ask you to log in with an email, and that's it, you're logged in. And basically it's an AI tool, which I find much more effective to Google. I'm sorry, Google, to say that. And basically I said, what are the top executive search firms that specialize in recruiting for interim or temporary roles? I got 8 names. So, it goes from Heidrick & Struggles, Stanton Chase, or just Benson, Spencer Stewart, and so on. So you can do the same. You can find those names. Once you identify what are the executive search firms that are recruiting for interim or temporary roles, please take those names to LinkedIn. Now, once you find the company page on LinkedIn, just click on the employees. There's usually a number. Let's say there are 1,000 employees in that company page listed. Click on that and basically start saying, okay, what are all the recruiters that are actually taking care of interim or temporary roles? So what you can do, you can go on the all filters. Once you're opening the employees, let's say there are 1,000 employees, you don't need to go one by one. Open all filters on the top right on LinkedIn, and then look for the title. And then in title, you can put interim or capital letter temporary. The other way to do it is just go on the top of the page on LinkedIn where there is the search button, and when you have those 1,000 employees listed, just put their temporary or interim. I have this demonstration in my videos in YouTube. How do you do that? But here we go. Once you find who are those executive consultants or recruiters or headhunters that are actually responsible for interim and temporary roles, you can start connecting with them. Send a request to connect, and literally, hey, they are recruiters. They know you're not there to network. Go to the point. Hey, I notice you are recruiting for interim or temporary roles, and you cover the scope of the sector that you are. So let's say you are within supply chain. I see that you are within supply chain space, or you are taking care of aviation. So I'm very happy to have a discussion with you and give a brief of you. Of course, the first thing they're going to do, those guys, they're going to take a look at your LinkedIn profile. So I can't exhaust enough the importance of have a good, perfect, preferable LinkedIn profile. Remember to start with the photo. It has to be professional photo, because this is the very first impression. As soon as they look at it, does it look like this could be the next CEO or the next interim COO for the organization that I'm taking care of, if your photo is not presentable, they might already rule you out right there. So make sure the photo is professional. If you need it to be, invest. Go to a studio, get that photo done. That will help you tremendously. And then, of course, goes without saying everything else that we already spoke about LinkedIn. So your LinkedIn headline, does it showcase your value proposition? Are your skills all listed on that profile so they can see if you have the skills that they need? And of course, the experience, your about session is all about a summary of you. Is it clear? Does it represent your biography? Okay, so that will help you actually be accepted and be contacted for opportunities that those headhunters and recruiters are having for interim and temporary roles. And hopefully not only for interim and temporary, even for permanent placement. But you need to literally start reaching out and let them know that you're there, even though it might be that they will ghost you initially. But then you have to keep on their radar from time to time, open the profile of those guys, have always a list available, visit, see what they're doing. If they have any articles, any comments, any things that you can comment, go and react to it. You can put a like, you can write it back. So this is a way to actually get traction with those guys and be remembered, not just connect once and then, you don't want them to forget your name. So you want to be on their radar. One last thing, guys, visibility is extremely key, because you don't want to also only identify a few people and depend on those people. You want to be contacted by your entire network who sees your activities on LinkedIn. Now, remember, when you make a comment, when you share an article, when you're active on LinkedIn, it's a forum. People will start commenting or putting likes, and then their network gets to know that you exist, and they might get curious to know who you are, and that gets attention to your profile. If they happen to be a recruiter or a headhunter or a decision maker looking for your skill set, that's it. Then you are the one who gets contacted, and then it's basically working a lot on your visibility as well, so you can get approached, not having so much to do the approach. So here we go, guys. That's it for today. I hope that was useful. Do leave your comments. Let me know what else you need to know, you'd like me to talk about. I'll be more than happy to dedicate the next podcast, the next episode to you. Meanwhile, stay blessed and be that life creator. Create the reality you wish to see in your life.
Never miss an episode. Never miss an opportunity. Follow Happy Monday Executives with Isabelita Castilho from any of your favorite podcast platforms. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Until then, stay blessed.